We're on high alert again, and I know nobody wants to hear that, but it's the nature of what we're facing. And you mentioned this a few minutes ago, Alex, but we have this rare PDS red flag warning once again in effect. And I feel like now I almost need to put the word rare in quotes because it's seemingly not rare anymore. This is the fourth PDS red flag warning of this season. Before the season, the last one issued was in 2020, and these are reserved for the most extreme events. So this was last issued, well, just this past week before the fires broke out, also issued just before the Franklin fire in December, also issued just before the Mountain fire in November. And again, 2020, before the season, was the last time we had this extreme, particularly dangerous situation red flag warning. Now, there's a red flag warning in effect right now, and it goes through the end of the day Wednesday. But the most concerning part of this, where it's particularly dangerous, is from early Tuesday morning at 4 a.m. into noon on Wednesday. And again, all magenta areas is where we see the red flag warning. And you'll see there's a gap here because we've kind of settled now into a microclimate wind kind of scenario. And we heard Chelsea talking about how light the winds were where she is. But right now, they're actually gusts over 20 around a lot of the foothills and valleys, and even up in the higher elevations, there's some gusts right now over 40 miles per hour. So it is somewhat windy in some areas now, but overall those wind speeds will start to ramp up Monday and go up even more as we go into Tuesday. Here's a look at the wind alerts we have in effect, and at the moment this high wind warning doesn't go into effect yet. That starts at 4 a.m. Tuesday. So everywhere there's a color right here, whether it's tan or yellow, that's currently a wind advisory. Areas in tan will remain on a wind advisory until noon on Wednesday. Areas in yellow will switch to a high wind warning for stronger winds at 4 a.m. Tuesday, and that lasts into noon on Wednesday. And this is where the gusts could get as high as 60 to 70 miles per hour. That is extreme, not as extreme as what we saw Tuesday night of this past week, which is about as extreme as it gets, but still, we have extreme winds on the way. Let's look at those future gusts now as we start this evening. And again, there's these pockets, like I mentioned right here, where gusts are over 20 to even near 40 in a few spots. As we go into tomorrow, you're going to see the winds begin to change, begin to increase. And I'll remind you, and we've talked a lot about this over the last several days, that purple on this map indicates wind gusts of at least 35 or higher. So that'll just give you kind of a good broad sense of where the strongest winds will be. And again, this is tomorrow morning, and we could see some of the plotted wind gusts, some areas over 40 miles per hour. As we continue through the day on Monday, the wind speeds start to go up even a little bit more. And again, keep in mind, at this point, Monday afternoon, we're not in the high wind warning yet, but we do see the winds start to get a little bit stronger. Now we go Monday night into Tuesday morning, and this is where it gets more concerning. We head into early Tuesday. We see the numbers going up. You're seeing some numbers over 50. You're seeing some numbers around 60 miles per hour. And again, it's not everywhere. Parts of LA might not be too windy, although it will be kind of breezy still Tuesday morning. But this is when we get into that scenario where we're going to be at the peak of this event, starting Tuesday into the morning hours of Wednesday. This is when we're in that particularly dangerous situation. And again, that doesn't mean another fire is going to start, but if one does, it could get out of control very quickly.